Well, hello everyone. I hope your week is off to a great start. We've got some Disney builds coming up on today's episode, so let's get started. As always, thank you for joining me here on Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff, and today we have a couple of, well, three actually, Disney builds. I'm calling them the Disney Minis. We're going to be building, you could probably see them over my shoulder. There's two of them here, Cinderella's Castle and Sleeping Beauty's Castle. And we also have the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland. So we're going to be tackling those three mini Disney builds on today's episode. So let's get into the build, and then we'll, as always, talk about it afterward. All right, so we are doing three builds today. We're doing the Sleeping Beauty Castle from Disneyland. We're doing the Cinderella Castle from Disney World, and we're doing the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland. So let's start with Cinderella's Castle. All right, so these are small builds in what they call micro scale. So not a whole lot of parts here. It looks like we have 6 bags. However, we have 2 number 3s and 2 number 4s. And then we have this little mini book here. So we do have a Mickey Mouse minifigure. So that's cool. He's got dual printed legs. Nice detail. No back printing, but we have nice detail on the front. So that's great. All right, so I wasn't going to stop the time lapse, but I did just want to call out they do have sort of a registration pick here so that you can make sure that you've completed everything correctly. Also, there is this little printed piece in here of the glass slippers. All right, so far this is an interesting build. The one thing I'm having a little annoyance with is the instruction book. The page, it's so small that the pages don't want to lay flat, so they're constantly flopping back over. But so far that's my only minor complaint. So let's keep going. All right, so we have another registration point here where there's an illustration in the manual that we can match up. I will have to say these could have gone on well before this step. I mean, yes, I have big hands, but man, that was difficult getting that in there. that is Cinderella's Castle, the mini version. I think it looks pretty good. So now let's build Sleeping Beauty's castle. This is Cinderella from Disney World, and next we're going to build Sleeping Beauty from Disneyland. Let's move on to Sleeping Beauty's castle. So this castle is a replica of the castle at Disneyland in California. And we have 5 bags. And then here is our instruction book. I think this one is the format is a little better. I think it'll stay open better than the previous one. That was a little frustrating in the Cinderella Castle build. The book kept flipping closed. So let's get started. All right, so we do have Sleeping Beauty, and we do have an alternate face. So we have the awake face, and of course, the sleeping face. And nice back printing. So yeah, actually, if I turn this around correctly, here we go. That makes more sense. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go with the awake face. So there we go. All right, and there is the completed Sleeping Beauty castle. Yeah, so I think it turned out pretty good. So this would be the side that you would approach from Main Street, and then you'd walk through the castle, and then this side you would come out in Fantasyland. All right, cool. Let's move on to the Haunted Mansion. All right, so here we have the Haunted Mansion, and this is set 40521, and we have 680 pieces. we have multiple of the same number bags again. So we have two number ones, two number threes, two number twos, and three number fours. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bags, but only 4 numbers. Oh, and we have some stickers in this one, which we did not have in the other two. So this is the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, not Disney World, Disneyland. All right, so here's our minifig. No alternate face, just the one, but we do have this nice little tails feature here on the back. All right, and that is the Haunted Mansion. Here are the completed Disney, what I'm calling the Disney minis. So here we have Cinderella's Castle, Sleeping Beauty's Castle, and the Haunted Mansion. So Cinderella's Castle is in Disney World in Florida. And then the Haunted Mansion, this is the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland. And then Sleeping Beauty's Castle is also from Disneyland. So the Cinderella's Castle from Walt Disney World, we have a full version of this. There's actually 2 of them. They just released a newer version of it. I will show you what they look like side by side here in a little bit. But it was a great little build. It comes with a Mickey Mouse minifigure. I do I mean, I am a Disney fan, so I do enjoy this castle. I think it was a fun build. I wouldn't say a fun build, but it looks nice when it's done. I'm not a fan. What I'm not a fan of is this micro scale. Um, it's just the parts are so small, and some of the piece placement is so tight. It's hard to get your hands in there, and especially on this build, attaching the clips for this little piece. Um, Rather than have you do that when there was a lot of open space, they had you do it after much of it was closed off. So for me, it was really hard to get in there and get that done. So it was a little frustrating. But all in all, these are great sets because there are no stickers. It's just printed pieces. So this is printed. And then the only sort of complaint I would have with this one is there are some details inside. There are a couple printed pieces and sort of a glass slipper Easter egg, I guess, that you can't. I mean, it's inside. You will never see it once you've finished building it. You'll never see it. Like this doesn't just lift off. It's all connected. So I felt like that was kind of wasted a little bit. But overall, a good set. And again, like I said, I will show you what this looks like next to the quote unquote full size version. So on to the two Disneyland models. I really do enjoy these. So Sleeping Beauty's castle comes with Sleeping Beauty, obviously. Again, these are printed pieces. And overall, I think it's a great build. It's a great representation of the castle at Disneyland. If anything, I think it's maybe a little too colorful. The colors are a little more muted at the real castle, but overall, a great set. I really didn't. I enjoy the look of it, and having grown up on the West Coast, I'm definitely a Disneyland over Disney World person. So I do appreciate that we did get a Disneyland version. So that's great. But I think the standout for me is the Haunted Mansion. We get a minifigure, but the cool thing about the Haunted Mansion is it's of the three, it's the only one that's an actual ride. The other two, the two castles, they're not rides. You just sort of walk through them from. It can get you from Main Street to Fantasyland, but the Haunted Mansion is actually a ride. And so what they've done is rather than just give us sort of the outside of the model, if we turn it around, they kind of give you a little sneak into the ride, which is kind of nifty. I think that's very cool. This one did have stickers, though. All those tiles inside that you see are stickers. I hope they come out with some more models. I think Space Mountain would be very cool. Matterhorn Mountain would be very cool. Even some of the Main Street buildings would be kind of neat. But that is what I am calling the Disney Minis. So those are the Disney Minis. Which one is your favorite? Comment down below and let me know. As I mentioned in the video, I'm a West Coast guy. I grew up in Washington State, so Disneyland is my go-to. So I'm a little partial to Sleeping Beauty and the Haunted Mansion. But for comparison's sake, as I mentioned in the video, here's what the castles look like together with the big Disney castle that's available. So pretty cool. You will notice that the mini version is white. The towers are white, and the big version is sort of a beige color. And actually, this is the previous version of the big version. They have a newer version where the colors are even a little more vivid and darker on the big version. But still, I think a great build. They look very similar and display well together. So all three of these are still available. The Haunted Mansion, however, it is listed. It's listed as on sale, and when you see it in like the main search page, it says out of stock. But when you actually click into it, it says sold out. So that one may be difficult or near impossible to find. You may be able to find it at some other resellers or maybe at a Lego store, but it doesn't seem to be available online. But these are nice sets. They're small. They're great if you don't want to invest, $400 in the big Disney castle. I mean, you're a Disney fan and you just want a little something for your desk or to put on a shelf. These are great. So coming up on the channel, we've got some exciting stuff. Hopefully you watched the video earlier in the week with Jaws. That was a great set. And we sort of preempted our regular Tuesday, Time Machine Tuesday, for the Jaws build because it was coming out that day. So I wanted to make sure that it was out there for people to see. So next week we will pick back up with our DeLorean schedule. If you're not watching that series, do check it out. It's a little bit different. It's Lego and it's a scale model version of the DeLorean. So far, I'm having a great time doing it. We're about a third of the way through, I think. So, the model's starting to take shape. But definitely check that out. As always, please, subscribe to my channel. It really helps it get discovered. Click that bell notification so you're notified when new videos come out, like Disney videos. We've got some more Disney stuff coming up. We've got some off-brand stuff coming up, some non-Lego building sets, which are very interesting. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, until we see each other again, happy building. Take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.